Hi there, it's Wade McMaster here, and today I just want to tell you about how I messed up, basically. So, if you've been following me for a little while, you may or may not know that, so I run a business from home. And a few years ago, I quit my job and I've been able to build this business. I run from home, primarily on the internet. Basically, it's not only replaced, but far exceeded my full-time income to the point where I actually support my entire household, which includes my wife and my daughter, on this business that I run from home. But what happens is I actually messed up once, and it's not about anything I've done this time around. But this is actually when I started this business, it was actually the second time that I quit. I actually quit one time before that, and it didn't quite go so well. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about that, just to give you a little bit of insight into, just to show you that if you do mess up or you fail, it's totally fine. Just keep pushing on. I had a good job. It was a great job. I had good bosses. I got paid what I was supposed to get paid. The work was good. It was enjoyable. But I'd rather be someone who's in charge of what it is that I do and make my own decisions. It's just the way I've always been. And what happens is, one year, I think it was there's actually a year that I married my wife. There was a lot of stress going on. There's finances and all sorts of things, and it was a tough time. And I was going to work, and I'm someone who always shows up 10 to 15 minutes early. I do good work. I always go, as far as I'm concerned, I was going above and beyond anyway. One day I was just having a bad day, and I went to work, and I showed up about 5 to 10 minutes late. And being in a bad mood, a little bit stroppy, I went straight to my desk and just started working. And my boss, probably having not such a great day himself, didn't really like that fact, and fair enough, came and said, hey, you were late, what's going on? And we had a little bit of a disagreement, nothing too severe, and I got incredibly furious. Now, I didn't actually say anything to him. I just sort of kept to myself and, okay, no worries, all good. But I sat there all day and I stewed on this. I got really angry and just thought, who the hell is he to say this to me, and all this sort of crazy stuff. Because I was basically in this mindset of entitlement. I do this work, I do this, I do that, I deserve this, and how come it's not working out? And I've had enough. And so I stewed on all day, and that afternoon I went into his office, asked if I could speak to him, and said, hey, look, thinking about changing career. I actually wouldn't mind leaving at the end of the year. And this is obviously a few months away at this time. And so we sat down, worked it out, said, okay, yep, no worries, that's fair, and basically I had my plan ready, gave my resignation. At the end of the year I was going to quit. So I went home, I told my wife, and I started planning. I started planning my new business, which is actually the exact same business I run at the moment. It was pretty much the exact same type of business I was planning. I was going to get everything together, get all the gear I needed. I was going to work out my plan. I was going to get started and to start saving some money and basically get things moving. But over time, as time ticked on, the excitement turned into a little bit of concern, then to a bit of fear, as I realized I wasn't going to have enough money to really back myself. And with a mortgage and bills and things that we all have, it became pretty clear that if I had followed through with this, I would have been pretty much going broke, bankrupt. We didn't have enough money. Although my wife was working, we didn't have enough money off one wage to support our household at that point. After all that, and sort of the anger and the big knee-jerk reaction of quitting and then trying to make a plan and it not working, I basically broke down, had a big breakdown session and tried to figure out what it was I was doing. So I crawled back in with the tail between my legs, and I stated that I no longer wanted to quit. And I was lucky I got to keep my job. Also lucky that I have a skill set that is not as easy to replace. So that was another factor. But still lucky nonetheless that I got to keep my job. And so I went back to work and just forgot about starting a business for a couple of years and just enjoyed the stability and appreciated what I really had. But there's a lesson to be learned here, and obviously it came out the other end better anyway, because eventually I did quit. I'm here, I've been working for myself for a number of years now and making far more money, and I had a very smooth transition when I finally quit the second time. And the difference was that I had made a plan. I actually said, okay, this time when I decided, yep, I'm actually going to do it this time, I came up with a plan. I sat down, spoke to my wife, we organized it all, and for a year I basically worked 2 jobs, my job and then my business. So at night I was working business, Saturdays, Sundays working business, after a while only the Saturdays, but you get the idea. I was working on building the business up. I had a plan. I started saving money, I started putting all the money I earned into that account, working out how much money I was making on a monthly basis, trying to get that to a point where I was basically making a second income. Although I didn't quite get there, I did realize at one stage that the hours I was putting in, I couldn't quite reach the same as a full-time job. Whole other story. But I came up with a plan and I got there. I managed to successfully quit and move into this business. The main mistake I made the first time is that I got all emotional and pissy and angry, and I just acted irrationally. Never ever make big decisions when you're not calm, because that is basically the decision I made, and it led to months of hell. Because even when I decided to stick around for that job, things weren't so smooth. Yeah, I got to keep my job and I was thankful. As long as I could support myself, I was happy. But you know, obviously a few people weren't happy about it. A lot of moves have been made around my future absence, and I definitely was a little bit selfish there, but at the same time, got to do what you got to do. It all worked out in the end. I have a great relationship with those people now, with my bosses and that. We all still keep things nice and smooth, but yeah, just a bit of advice. Don't ever make big, rash, emotional decisions. Have a strategy, have a plan. If you want to quit your job or make any big decisions, try to think about it first. Get it down on paper. Best case scenario, worst case scenarios. Prepare for those and make sure you're well informed when you do finally take that leap to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. So I hope you found that video useful. It was a different kind of video for me. I kind of wanted to get something a bit more personal out there so you can get to know me a little bit, but also talk about something that you can relate to, you know, something that might help you understand how difficult it can be having a goal and getting there. Because it took me, I always wanted to do it, but it took me from that time when I first quit to when I actually finally followed through. That was a good 5 or 6 years to get to where I am to quitting. It's not an easy task. So yeah, if you're struggling trying to get there, as long as you keep pushing through and planning, it gets better, I promise you. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you want more like this, please consider subscribing. But also, if you've got a story of your own, or you know, whether it be just something you failed at but then later was able to succeed at, or whether it's just your goal to try and quit your job or you haven't done it yet, please let's talk about this. Leave a comment below. Let's start talking about it and get the conversation moving. All right, thanks for watching the video, and I hope to talk to you below soon, and have a great day. See you later.